Chicken pot pie, the ultimate comfort food for those crisp, autumnal days when the leaves are falling and you're looking for something warm, hearty, and ridiculously satisfying. Welcome back to Burmawala Kitchen, where today we're making this homely classic in one pan, straight to the oven. No fuss, no extra washing up, just pure golden perfection. We start with our star ingredient, 500 grams of chicken breast, cubed into little bite-sized pieces. Now, I've popped mine in the freezer for an hour beforehand. It's a little trick that makes slicing the chicken so much easier. Once cubed, we season the chicken with 2 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of chili powder for a bit of a kick, a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of mixed herbs, and a tablespoon of garlic paste. Give it all a good mix, and here's the beauty of this recipe. There's no marinating time needed. We're aiming for a full, heartwarming meal on the table in just 45 minutes. Now onto the filling. We're keeping things straightforward but oh so satisfying. Start by chopping 1 medium onion. Not too fine, not too rough, just right, like the porridge in Goldilocks. Then, onto 220 grams of white button mushrooms. Give them a quick slice and chop. Next up are 3 large carrots. Off with the tops. Slice them in half. Then dice into lovely little cubes. You could certainly add peas, celery, or any other veg that tickles your fancy, but we're going for simplicity today. Before we get cooking, let's whip up a quick broth. I'm using 2 stock cubes dissolved in 450 milliliters of boiling water. Simple and oh so effective. Now, it's time to cook. Grab your oven-proof pan, because remember, this whole dish is going straight from the stove into the oven. Start by melting 100 grams of butter over medium heat. We're not looking for browned butter today, just a nice smooth melt. Once the butter's melted, in go the onions. Fry them gently for about 5 minutes until they soften and take on that golden glow. Don't rush this step. As every good chef knows, onions are the foundation of flavor. Treat them right, and they'll reward you. Once the onions have softened to perfection, it's time to add our spiced chicken cubes. Sear the chicken for about 5 minutes until it starts to get a lovely bit of color. The spices we've used aren't extravagant, but believe me, they pack quite the punch. When the chicken is beautifully golden, in go the mushrooms. Followed by the carrots. Give everything a good stir and let it cook for another minute or 2, just until the veg starts to soften. We want them tender but with a bit of bite. Now it's time for the magic ingredient. 5 tablespoons of plain flour. This is what's going to give us that gloriously thick, creamy filling. Stir it in well, don't be shy. Make a little well in the center of the pan and pour in our broth. Followed by 150 milliliters of full-fat double cream. Slowly stir everything together, making sure those lovely liquids don't spill over. It may look like the pan's overflowing, but trust me, it's just the right amount. Keep stirring on medium heat until the sauce thickens to a beautifully creamy consistency. This will take about 10 minutes. We want it rich but not too thick, just that perfect balance. Now comes the pièce de résistance, our puff pastry. I'm using pre-rolled puff pastry today because, let's be honest, it's a time saver and just as delicious. Lay the pastry directly over the pan. Yes, this is a one-pan wonder. Brush it with a little beaten egg for that gorgeous golden finish. And into the oven it goes. I've set mine to 180 and it'll need about 20 minutes, but keep an eye on it and follow your puff pastry instructions. After 20 minutes, out it comes. A gloriously golden, flaky chicken pot pie. The pastry is beautifully crisp, and underneath we've got that creamy, hearty filling just begging to be scooped out. Let's cut into it. Oh, look at that creamy goodness. The smell alone is enough to make your mouth water. In less than 45 minutes, we've whipped up a comforting, warming chicken pot pie that's perfect for feeding the whole family. It's easy, it's delicious, and with just one pan, even the washing up's a breeze. What more could you ask for on a cozy autumn evening? Thank you once again for joining me here at Burmawala Kitchen.